When you hear the word addiction, the first thing it may come to mind is alcohol, prescription drugs, maybe even cigarettes. Well, another addiction that is just as destructive is gambling. And with casinos, lottery tickets, even online betting on the rise, it is crucial to address its addictive nature. For that, I'm joined by Shawn Holt, who's the president and CEO of Maryhaven. Shawn, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk in general first, Shawn. How big of a problem is gambling addiction?
Gambling addiction is a huge problem. It's our nation's oldest pastime. Annually, it brings in $250 billion. Here in Ohio alone, it brings in $1 billion of revenue. So it's a big issue that we're facing.
Yeah, those are big numbers, so I can only imagine. So as we talk about Maryhaven, its treatment center, you do treat all kinds of different addictions. So what do you do specifically when it comes to gambling?
So gambling is usually the hidden addiction. Other things tend to surface first before we find out that you have a gambling issue. And so what we do is we provide a simple screening for individuals and family members, and we have experts on hand that provide intervention, treatment, and prevention. So we can ensure the future of a problem gambler of, we like to say, one more chance rather than one more roll.
Oh, I like that. And it's a good way to kind of get everybody, I feel like, on board. As you talked about, we're talking family members, everyone that's involved in this situation. Yes. And let's talk about one patient. We're going to hear Pam's story. She was not just coping with gambling, as you said, but had another problem as well. So take a listen.
My mother gambled. I would go with her just to, kind of hang out with my mother, and she died in 2001. And I probably went then out of depression. And then it just kind of got worse and worse.
All right, so as you mentioned, depression, gambling, a family member had done it prior. Is that a typical situation?
Typically it is. And because we know that gambling affects more than just the one person who's in it, it affects the whole entire family. And fortunately for us, thanks to the generosity of the Adam Board of Franklin County, we are the only institution that are providing free services to families throughout Ohio.
Okay, and as you mentioned family members, let's get a listen to another patient you had. This is Jessica sharing her story.
When we came in here, I felt like Bruce got it and that we had some hope again. He was really sick and he needed help, and to be part of that treatment, because I needed help too, it just seemed to me like a lot of people thought that gambling wasn't a problem. And it was hard because I wanted to help him recover and know what I could do to support him.
So Jessica, obviously the patient's wife in that situation. And so when they come in, is that typically, somebody that's close to them saying, I think they need help. They need more help than they may be ready to admit?
Yes, it's very typical. And because, like I said before, it's usually the hidden addiction. It usually takes, family members are blindsided by it, actually. It usually takes a loss of a job or a bankruptcy or another trauma. And that's what makes Maryhaven so special. We've been around since 1953, from everything from mental health to substance abuse and now to gambling addiction. We have experts on hand that can treat a wide array of issues for families. And more importantly, like I said, we've been around for so long, and we treat the entire family, not just the individual.
You know what they need
yes.
to get out and have a successful life. And I imagine as you see these addictions kind of evolve over the years, gambling, has evolved as well. And have you seen that kind of on the rise because of this?
We have seen it on the rise. And in fact, in 2013, for the first time, gambling addiction was actually diagnosed as a disease. So we're getting better as a society. I think the casinos have increased that need. But like I said, the attention is starting to become more on the issue. And I think initially we just treated the one person who had the issue. But what we're seeing now is it affects the whole entire family. So we're providing treatment to the whole entire family.
And as we mentioned, you do treat all the other issues that may come along with it at Maryhaven.
Yes.
Okay. And how important, as we look at this, is hope to this recovery?
Hope is very important. Hope, like anything else, once you lose hope, it's a tough road to hope. And so, recently we went under a renovation in our building. When you first walk in, you're going to see the word hope. And it's more than just a symbol to us. It's one we want to accomplish every day. So it's very, very important in terms of recovery, whether it's gambling, substance abuse, or other drugs. Very, very important.
Definitely have hope, and of course go to somebody who knows what they're doing, which is what Maryhaven is so good at in helping people recover.
Yes.
All right, Shawn, I want to thank you so much. All the contact info for Maryhaven up on the screen.